And the official holding up those SmackDown tag team titles, with the Usos running strong for nearly a decade. Will the twins and their connection be stronger than this short-term tag team between The Miz and Shane McMahon? It is so crazy how quickly things can come along. Shane McMahon and The Miz have only been a tag team for such a short time. And to become SmackDown tag team champions in that so small time, it's pretty incredible. Okay, and you can hear the loud Uso chants by the WWE Universe and the crowd as Jimmy and The Miz tie up. Jimmy has The Miz caught up in a headlock. And down goes The Miz. The Miz showing some of that athleticism on display. Never count out The Miz. Miz with that neck breaker gets countered. That padded neck breaker that we've seen for The Miz got countered. Miz looking for that figure four. Sent into the corner. Oh, and the Usos. Oh, we're thinking that double super kick, but The Miz scouting it, just barely getting out of harm's way. What a hot start between these teams. Miz, talk about avoiding a disaster. And The Miz and Shane McMahon, when you look at it all around, it just makes so much sense. Shane has had quite the track record for aligning himself with some of the more intriguing personalities here in the WWE. And it was always about, at some point, it was about impressing his father, and then it became about just becoming his own man. Shane McMahon is willing to go to extreme lengths to prove that he's not just some rich boy, that Shane McMahon is one of the boys. Time and time again, Shane McMahon always has a trick up his sleeve. Meanwhile, taking care of both Usos. Look at that sunset flip over the top rope. And now it's Jay and Shane going at it. Look at that back elbow from Shane. And now The Miz, the legal man. And The Miz and Shane working so well together over the Usos. Jay over the top. And now Jimmy Uso gets to join the fun. And now Jimmy gets sent to the outside by Miz and Shane. And the SmackDown Tag Team Champions are in control. And Shane O'Mac and The Miz mocking the Usos. The Usos have really proved themselves and have paved their own path over the last decade, having faced some of the greatest tag teams of all time, including the Dudleys and the New Age Outlaws. And here come the Miz kicks, those Miz it kicks there on Jay in the corner. And the official trying to keep them separated. Up, tag was made. I don't know if the Miz realized it, but he does now with that head ringer as the Miz got caught up on the top rope. And that's where that experience comes in. The Usos are just so profound when it comes to being a tag team. And you can't be, it's hard to beat. It's hard to recreate having such a genetic connection. You can't recreate it. When you're blood, you're blood. There's no way around it. They are bonded by blood. They are bonded by the fact that they are twins. And that's something you can't take away from the Usos. They've spent their whole lives together. And that's what makes them so skilled. Because they know each other so well, they know each other's strengths, they know each other's weaknesses, and they know how to use those strengths and weaknesses and that knowledge of it to make each other better and make them an overall great tag team. And that's what's made them so strong over the past near 10 years here in the WWE. Meanwhile, The Miz starting to fight back. Miz trying to create some much needed separation, but gets caught with a wicked clothesline. The Miz gets sent crashing right back down into the mat. Tag made. Jimmy Uso making the tag to Jay. This is just how well the Usos can operate as a tag team because they know each other so well. You know, a side headlock from Jay. And it's not just about winning the tag titles. It's about sending a message, proving that they are, without a doubt, one of the greatest tag teams to ever do it. Maybe perhaps the greatest tag team to ever step foot inside the squared circle. And that's saying a lot because you've got tag teams like the Legion of Doom. You've got tag teams like Edge and Christian, DX, Demolition. You've got some of the greatest tag teams of all time. And what a move, pulling a play out of the playbook of the A-lister, The Miz. And Jimmy enjoyed every bit of that. And now it's become a little personal. Here comes The Miz, who fights back out of the corner, taking out Jimmy. And Jimmy wasted a little bit too much time, and Join uses The Miz's own move against him. And that could be a big difference maker. That is the difference. Shane McMahon and The Miz, as individual competitors, are veterans of the game in comparison to the Usos. Shane McMahon coming out like a great ball of fire with that pump kick, taking out Jay, and a big back body drop. Shane McMahon on fire, shuffling around the ring. And now McMahon is starting to feel it. Boom, what a wicked right. Oh, Shane McMahon, bam, planting Jimmy right into the mat. Oh, and now Jay gets caught, planted on top of his head, spiked to retain the titles. And Jay able to kick out at 2. And McMahon wisely going quick, not wasting time. What does Shane McMahon have in mind, though? He's not thinking coast to coast, is he? Oh! And it connects. And what cost, though? With the coast to coast, you put your own body at risk. With Jimmy now taken out, McMahon looking to go after Jay. Does McMahon have enough power left after the damage he did to himself the first go round? Does he have enough for the second go round? And here we go, coast to coast. But gets caught right into a super kick by Jay. With an Uso splash. We got new SmackDown Tag Team Champions, but The Miz saves the day. And once again, The Miz saving the day. Let's get another look at this right now. Shane McMahon with that coast-to-coast picture perfect on Jimmy. Just incredible display of athleticism by Shane O'Mac. But this wasn't incredible at all, and I'm sure it didn't feel great either for McMahon, who got caught with an emphatic super kick by Jey Uso. And now The Miz, who's up on his feet in the corner, who's hyping up, trying to rally behind Shane O'Mac. Will the tag be made? The Miz desperately wants in this match. Jey trying to prevent Shane from making the tag. And now the tag's made. Miz springboard. And a double axe handle. And The Miz is feeling it. You see the look in his eyes. And The Miz is fired up. And a big boot from The Miz. Oh, Samoan drop by Jey. Just like that. Jey turning things around. So quickly can Jey turn things around. And, was looking for that hip attack, but The Miz, kick to the knee. Boom! And what a wicked DDT to retain the titles. But Jey just barely gets the shoulder up before the 3. So close to retaining the titles. Meanwhile, Miz, sliding through the middle and bottom rope, taking out Jey. Oh, come on. Miz already clearing the desk space. It's this early in the night, and there goes our papers. And now The Miz trying to do whatever it takes to win by any means necessary. And accidentally taking out his own brother. The Miz with a big boot taking out Jimmy. All kinds of chaos going on here at ringside. And Shane has still not recovered from that massive super kick by Jey. It seems that Shane and The Miz are communicating despite the damage that's been done to Shane. Miz trying to beat the life out of, is that Jimmy? Oh, we've seen Shane do some wild things in the past. High risk attempt from Shane O'Mac. Here comes the money. Trying to shake off the pain. What an elbow drop through the announce table. Absolute mayhem. And The Miz trying to check on his tag team partner. Meanwhile, half the playing field has been laid out. Jimmy, Shane out of commission. Shane throwing caution to the wind, taking his own body out in the process of taking out Jimmy. Was that? It's hard to figure out which twin is in the situation. Perhaps that was Jey that was taken out. It's Jimmy who's in the ring. Jimmy with a super kick to The Miz. And now The Miz goes down. And The Miz in position for Jimmy for an Uso splash to take this one home, but The Miz gets the knees up. And the cover rolls up. And Jimmy just barely gets the shoulder up. Miz, skull-crushing finale the same way as won the WWE Championship. Will The Miz do it to retain the tag titles? Is it enough? Wait. Crucifix cover. Jimmy's got him. We got new SmackDown Tag Team Champions. What an absolute turn of events. What a shock. The Miz with a skull-crushing finale. It went for the cover. But the way The Miz had his weight on Jimmy Uso allowed Jimmy Uso to just barely shift the weight over where he could turn it into a crucifix cover. The Miz's shoulders were down on the mat. 1, 2, 3. We got new tag team champions. The Usos outsmarting Shane McMahon and The Miz. Let's get another look at this leaping clothesline, this leap of faith, rather, from Shane O'Mac with that elbow drop, taking out Jey Uso through our announce desk. And another look at this one more time from a different angle. Every angle gets more and more devastating. And then it was back inside the ring, skull-crushing finale to Jimmy Uso. Miz, all that weight. It took a second for the Miz to roll over the dead weight of Jimmy Uso, laid on the back. And the way that the Miz was laid back, Jimmy Uso was able to shift the weight of the Miz over. The Miz's shoulders were flat on the mat. 1, 2, 3. And the shock on the Miz's face when he heard and knew SmackDown Tag Team Champions Jimmy and Jey the Usos. And now the reality is set in that the Usos are once again on the top of the chain here in the SmackDown division. What does this mean for Shane McMahon and The Miz? What is next for this tag team? These two don't even know what to think. You can see their facial expressions. But the Usos are going to have a good night. Shane McMahon with that look of disappointment. They gave it their best shot, but in the end, the Usos are still, the Usos are the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions.